Artists, creatives, and designers, welcome to Dream Aloud Art, the podcast where creatives are educated on seeing value in themselves and their creations. Presented to you by RTA, respecttheartist.com. I'm your host, fellow creative and friend, Electra B. Frederick. Let's go. Artists, what is going on? What's good, y'all? What is really good? How are y'all doing? That's a real question. Just how are you getting along? Have you taken time to just sit still? You know what I'm saying? Have you taken time to just take a deep breath in and take a deep breath out and be thankful for life? How about that? Exactly. How about that? Well, I certainly hope that you're doing good. Y'all know I'm all about RTA, where we respect the artist all day, every single day. And for me, it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle to do what I do. And this is what I encourage artists to do also. Make it a lifestyle. Make it a lifestyle. I think that's another episode. I got to make another episode on full-time artists and what that means. Yes, this is deeper than, the idea of, oh, I want to quit my job and become a full-time artist. You can embody that right now. You can embody owning up to being a full-time artist and own that. That's the only way that your path can be led to being a full-time artist manifesting that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so that was it just came out. It just came out. I know. So you want to get straight to I know you want to get straight to today's topic, which of course is how to sell your work on IG. But we're going to focus on the meaning, message, and the story. And just a heads up, in case some of y'all don't realize this, I'm known as the Instagram art coach. So that is definitely an area that I decided to really, truly hone in on and focus my expertise on, because I have been utilizing the real estate on Instagram.com, right? Virtual real estate. That's what we've learned in our previous episode on the part one episode, which was coming up with a goal for your page. But yes, I have been hanging out, having a residence on the street of Instagram.com or Instagram.com drive or Instagram.com street or, any of those things. And as you know, you have to maximize the space if you want to sell your art on the gram. And again, my disclaimer, shout out to the artists that are just having fun and it doesn't matter. Go for it. You know what I'm saying? But this episode and future episodes are centered around those who actually want to make some residual, who want to make some profit, who want to have something consistent, something they can do, with their eyes closed and have fun with it, but also be intentional. And that's the key. That's the key to anyone's success, is that they set their mind, they set their heart, they set their whole existence, their soul, their spirit, they set intention, and then they move forward. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and dive into this topic. And I'm so excited. If in case some of y'all don't have yet to know, I go live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Instagram. And we talk about your page and tips for you to revamp little hiccups that are on your page. You want to revamp that. You want to give it a good makeover. So join us as I go live. And if you are not shy, then you can request to join the live. It depends on what the topic is that I'm speaking of. And of course, the links are in the description for this podcast episode. If you want to send me a DM, that information is in the description. And if you want to sign up for an opportunity to get a complimentary consultation, then the links are below, and every other link. I mean, everything from, my book to the YouTube channel where we do artist interviews. Like, we have a good time here. You know what I'm saying? So check all that information out. All right, so let's focus on the topic at hand. Again, I gave my disclaimer. I gave my disclaimer if artists just want to have fun. You know what I'm saying? You want to have fun on IG, then do what you want, do whatever feels super good to you. But I also want to add, when it comes to your business, it is important that not only you be intentional, but it does feel good to you. So it has to be a combination of not just what feels good in the moment, but being intentional. So a different way that I put that, because we love visuals, a different way that I put that is, imagine that your head and your heart are in alignment. Imagine that both of them are shaking hands in agreement. Okay? Because we all have done certain things that we could have sworn was like our heart's desire. And maybe it seemed like a good idea at that time. But then after we did it, it was like, oh, I don't know if I actually felt good about that. And the reason why in the moment it felt like your heart was all for it and, yeah, I want to go do this thing. It did feel good in that moment, but your head did not agree. The logical part of you did not agree. Ultimately, it didn't agree. It was like, okay, I don't know if that was in my best interest. So, all right. So, when it comes to a meaning, message, or story, this is something I've shared with artists, um, both as my clients and during any complimentary consultations that I have with them. It's so critical if you are trying to sell your art. It's so critical that you have a series. You have a series of your work that has a consistent meaning, message, or story. And this, sometimes artists, when they hear something like this, are like, well, I just want to paint dogs today, and then I want to paint flowers tomorrow, and then I want to paint cars the next day. And that's fine. If you want to be that artist who does that, go for it. Like I said, there are certain things that I'm not here to tell you what you can or cannot do. You have free will, you do what you like. What I'm suggesting to you is what I have seen consistently works and translates that leads to a sale. All right, this is not about me putting you in a box. No, but I also have news for you when it comes to this box idea. An artist can be so set on the example I just gave. They're painting flowers today, dogs tomorrow, cars next week, whatever, that they don't even realize they have now created another box for themselves. They've stepped out of a box, but now they have limited beliefs and understandings that that when you're consistently showing a body of work, a message, a story, or a theme that is consistent, they don't understand that that translates to the general public as someone who is consistent, someone who believes in this story, someone who believes in this message, someone who believes in something consistently. Of course, that could be a whole conversation. If you have a question for me about that, all that contact information is in the description below. Okay. But just hear me. After being on Instagram for 11 years, examining artist profiles, at first unintentionally, because I was doing my visual art, I had 3 art pages. I've gone viral so many times, at least over 50 times. I test, tried and true, my friend, okay? But there are always that 1, 2, 3% exception. Do what feels right to you. Let me say that. Not just what feels good, but what feels right and correct for you. So, your viewers need to follow something. Here's what happens if you are if you're intending on selling your art on your IG page, okay? What happens is that when you decide to post, and your post pops up on your followers' feed, how do they know it's you if you're doing something different every day? How do they know what's happening? They don't. They don't. If you are consistent with a particular subject or a series of subjects, right, or a series which consists of certain subjects, you have a running theme. And so mathematically, you'll hear me say some of these things so it gets really ingrained in your mind, okay? Mathematically, I don't care how many people are following you on Instagram, not 100% of them are not always going to see every single post, right? So the percentage of them that actually catch a post, it's so critical that you stay consistent with a theme. Imagine if pick any oh, I'll pick someone for you. Imagine if Target had a different logo every day. Okay. And they're trying to get people to buy their products. But every time they post their logo looks different. It looks different. How in the world would we recognize Target if they decided to change their logo every week? Am I getting through? Is that making sense? Yes? Yes. So that's one way of looking at it. Another reason why it's so critical to have a theme to follow is at least for a series of work or something, okay? But this is a whole consultation because we could look closer at that. Yes, there are possibilities if you like to mix and match and you want to mix and match and you want to paint flowers, dogs, cars, candies, and rainbow and unicorns. There are possibilities for that. What I'm saying is general consultation information. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you what actually works more in your favor. So another way of looking at it is imagine if you walked into Subway, eat fresh. No, I'm not endorsing them. It just came to mind. Y'all know the song. Do they still say that song? I hope they do. Because it would make no sense if you heard this. You'd be like, what? That's not what they say anymore. All right. So anyway, imagine if you walked into Subway and you did your thing, got your food, sandwiches, chips, whatever, right? Left. You do this all the time. One day you walk into Subway and they're serving Chinese food. What does that do to your mind? You have so many questions. You're like, what? Huh? What's going Wait, you walk back outside. You make sure you're walking into Subway. Right? This is what I'm talking about. So that seems like an example where you're like, well, of course I would ask all these questions. You have to understand that people have microseconds to make a decision when they are on Instagram. Microseconds. So they need to recognize you like off top. No question. No question. When you pop up on their feed, when they pick something, but I'll definitely say when you pop up on their feed, they need to recognize you instantly. Instantly. So having a theme, whether it's a visual theme or a story or a message, that story or message needs to be consistent, okay? So, continuing here, viewers want to relate and connect with your work on a deeper level when it comes to a story, a message, a theme. They want to connect on a deeper level. And the way that you can communicate this story, message, or theme is to either verbalize it. I've seen this plenty of times where an artist is they have a video posted and you can see their hand and they're doing a process video where they're showing you create the work and they're also talking. They're either talking about the process or they're talking about the story behind the work or they're talking about the client that or they're doing a commission piece for. We want content. We want content in its entirety, not just the visual. We want you to talk to us. And let's just say you're not an audio person like me. I can talk all day, every day. I can talk all day, every day about art. Like that's just art. I could just keep going, 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 right? But let's just say that you're not that person. Well, then communicate the story or the theme to us in the captions and be consistent. Draw us in. Become a writer. Not just like typing it up real quick with your thumbs. Then we don't want thumb work. We want a story. Talk to us. Tell us, yo, like, oh man, this picture, or when I did this picture, it just felt so great. I just felt like I was in my zone. Can anyone else relate to that where you're just drawing or you're just doing something and you're in that creative zone and you're just, you know what I'm saying? Talk to us. We like you. Like we follow you because we like you. Talk to us. Give us some content, right? So can the art sell on its own by itself? Sure, I'm not questioning your skills. You are a talented, creative human being. You are a spirit having a human experience. You are pure and high vibration. We got that, baby cakes. But all I'm saying is that when there is something deeper, like a story that they can relate to, that's depth. Deep. Go deep with the stories, yo. Drop some gems. You have to, this is something I always say, and I should trademark this, copyright it, whichever one of those two. I always get those confused. You have to give them something they can't buy before you give them something to buy. I'm going to say it again. Hold on now. I'm going to say it for the people in the back that couldn't afford to get the front seats, right? Get the front row seats. You have to give them something they can't buy before you give them something to buy. And that is you. You have to give that heart-centered, the heart and the head are in alignment. You got to let your spirit flow out of you. Why do you think artists connect with me in the way that they do? Because I bear my spirit to my artists. They know it comes from a deep place in my heart. They know that. It's no question. No question. So when you art is a very vulnerable thing, very vulnerable experience for creatives, or just being creative, period, right? But the more open you are, the more you touch the people you're meant to touch. It's not, y'all know me, this is not a game, right? Art is not just, again, respect. If you're just doing it for fun, respect. I get that. Art should be fun, okay? But I'm speaking to certain artists who are hearing this. See, my students know their teacher's voice. So they know, y'all know if I'm talking to you. For some artists, it's bearing their soul. It's so just from such a deep place for them. And the more that you unveil and open up that heart space, the more you will attract those who can relate to the purest, highest form of you. Come on, somebody. Woo! Did you catch that? Oh, did you catch that? Somebody, I need to give y'all my Cash App right now. I'm open for tips. Yes, I am open for tips. Dropping some gems up in here. We're waking some of y'all up. You have to give them something they cannot buy before you give them something to buy, and that's you. Woo! I am just, y'all know I live for this. I certainly hope that this really helped open your mind up to how imperative it is if you want to sell your art. Because what have we learned? What do I always say? At the core of every sale is a person, and you want to make sure that you are connecting with quality supporters, the ones who are riding with you for years. I have supporters who have been riding with me for years, for, oh my goodness, what? 15 years, 20 years. That's real. You know what I'm saying? All right. I love y'all. I hope you got the most from this, as much as you could. You know who it is and what it is. Follow me on IG. Don't just follow me. I want to know y'all. I want to know your name. Send me a DM. How about that? DM me the words art coach on Instagram if you want or need my expertise with your Instagram art page. Okay. Peace, y'all. I love y'all. And I will catch you on the next podcast episode or live on Instagram, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. Love y'all. Artists, creatives, and designers, it has been an honor and a pleasure to spend this time with you. I'm grateful for your encouragement, love, respect, and support. Follow this podcast and share this episode with another creative who needs to hear it. Your positive ratings and reviews are highly appreciated. Screen capture this episode, post it, and tag me on Instagram at DreamAloudArt so I can show the love in return. For more information on having an artist consultation with me or for being on the YouTube show for artist interviews, check the description on this episode or go to respecttheartist.com. That's RESPECTTHEARTISTS.com. Much love to y'all. And remember, RTA stands for Respect the Artists. I'll catch y'all on the next episode. Peace, peace from here to the Far East.